How you guys doing today? So I want to talk about downsizing. Women call it something else. I'm sick, so bear with me. I woke up with my throat just raw as hell. At first I thought I had acid reflux, but it's not in my nose. It's right here. So I'm on meds, so bear with me if I start yakking. Um, it's you got to do it, man. If let's start with your house, okay? If you're renting, not mortgage. Now, if you have a mortgage, let's go there first. If you have a mortgage and it's under 1,000, shut the hell up, okay? If you could Google or if you know how to use AI properly, like I'm learning, use that and find out what your size house, yard, property, all that, car, 2-car garage, all that stuff is. Find out what those are renting for. And I bet you it's going to be close to almost twice what you're paying. Especially if you got in pre-high APRs, especially if you're like 2 point something 7, whatever it was, you're under 3 points, or even under 4. You're probably really golden. Your payments are probably really low. I mean, your insurance is going to go up, so there's not much you can do about that. But you're in a better spot because most likely what you're paying is, if you rented it'd be almost twice that. So stay where you are if you have that. If your shit is high and like you're paying 7 points on that shit, 6, 7 points. No. You need to go reshop, do shit. But if you're renting, do you really need all that space? Do you need the 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2-car garage with the giant yard? Do you really need all that? How much you paying? Google that shit somewhere else or your surrounding areas, and see if there's a difference in that you can downsize. Because if you can go from a 15 to a 12 to 1,000 to a 1,200 and save yourself, $500, I would do that. You can break the lease. Most landlords don't give you shit. They'll find somebody else to rent their shit. Most of them don't go after you for break it. They'll charge you a little fee for breaking the lease sometimes, but most of them will let you out of it. You can always come up with some bullshit. Yeah, I lost my job and I want to get out of here before I start owing you money. And this is the best move for me and my family. And most likely, oh no, I understand. He might come back with, like, is there any way you could just pay me, a breaking fee? Most of them are going to be cool about it. Usually the worst ones are the rental companies are usually the worst. They try to go after you. Well, you signed a contract for a year. And we lost all that money. No, you rented it immediately. And a lot of them know that. So a lot of people will fight it because, it's like, wait, I moved out in the middle of the month, gave you 2 weeks to clean, and then I know you re-rented it. Because if you drive by, always drive by and keep an eye on it. Because if it's re-rented, start taking pictures. Just in case they do take you to court, try to get the whole year out of you. Say, look, Your Honor, I moved out this time, gave them 2 weeks to clean it. They re-rented it. Look, here's the property. Here's the date up here in the picture. And have your proof there. Because I had one that tried to sue me because I put up... they had these metal rack wires, and I put up wood shelving, really nice. And I think me and 3 of my other guys, we were all big. We were hanging off it like this, with our hands out, with a beer in our hand. But it held all 3 of our fat asses up there, and it didn't budge. And they said, oh, no, we had to take it out. And I drove by one day, and they had the garage open, and I took pictures with the date on it. And that so screwed her. I said, Your Honor, she's so lying. How dare you say I'm lying? And the little idiot lady. And I said, so when your new tenants moved in, where'd they put their stuff? Because I got rid of the wiring because you didn't need anymore, because the shelves I put in that cost over $1,000 in wood. Said, oh, well, we had to take that out because all the damage you caused. And I said, really? I'd like to enter exhibit number 1. And the lady looked at the picture and went, well, I'm looking at the date. It says they're still in it. Where'd you take this? I said, a few days ago before we came in. I said the garage was open when I drove by, so I took a picture. She's like, oh, smart. And then he's like, he can't take pictures. She goes, ma'am, if the garage is open out and he's on the public street, he can take a picture. You're the one that left the garage open. She goes, but I see the shelving still there. So you didn't take it out, and it's still there, and your new tenants are using it. Oh, yeah. She asked if I wanted to countersue. I said, no, I just want this to go away. I said, this is stupid. in that one. But anyway, again, I went off. I go off on shit, but you know, it's good to make sure you cover your bases when you're gonna move. But downsize, man. You don't need all this shit. You know, organize your shit. I came up with a system for my wife. She went out. She took her a long time because she had to do it because I was always at work. You know, I hate when people go, "So you're never here." Well, bitch, what do you think all this shit just pays for itself? Why don't guys just throw that out there? You know, maybe we should make a video about that. It's asinine, really. But you know, downsizing is a good thing. I downsize. You know, I got it all down into what, 6 tubs, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm at 5 tubs right now. 5 tubs, 2 tables. Small one and a big one. But I'm not giving those up because that gray was a really good find. And I got it for a good price. What was it, $80 for that 6-foot giant gray table? It's served me well. It holds like 400 pounds. You don't see that very often. Is it called Costaway or something like that? It's a good little site I came across. And I ordered my chair. I should have got the leather one that I had prior because I'm sure my son's still using it. And I got that at Walmart for $100. Hey, live and learn. But I'm at the nitty gritty, the very, very bottom of my shit. Could I go lower? Oh yeah, I could lose the rest of my shit, but just got to rebuy it later. So I might just try to keep as much as possible. But you know, shit goes on, shit happens. You know, what are you gonna do about it? You know, you just gotta move forward, press on. And shit is crazy. You know, it is. Shit is absolutely bonkers sometimes. And you never know what's gonna fucking happen. You know, you just don't know. But you gotta downsize. Get rid of this shit, you know, and declutter is what women like to call it. We're going to declutter. My wife did the kids' room one time. You couldn't walk in there. It was like a foot deep in shit toys. Because we always bought them everything they wanted, and then some. You know, Christmases were wall-to-wall gifts for kids. You know, me and her got a couple of little things for us. But it was mostly about the kids. We made sure we sat down, we had a good discussion. Hey, you know, holidays are about the kids. Let's make sure they have the holidays we never had. And we did, you know, with that first Christmas. The hell was that? It was, I have video of it somewhere. And it's wall-to-wall gifts. We had to move furniture out of the living room, okay? That's how many gifts there were. It was like 3 feet deep from the wall coming out. And I had to build a lot of shit, you know, kitchens and plastic kitchens are the fucking worst. If I could have got a wood one, I could have afforded it, I would have. But it was, the problem with that was that I'll say this real quick was they'd open one gift and just want to play with the one gift. It's like, no, you got to open all these, you know. And I had to yell at them, and I felt bad, but it's like, you got to open them. No, open mother gifts. I want to play with just this one. And it's like, damn it. And it was 7.5 hours of gift opening. That was the longest Christmas I've ever had. We learned after that. And because then she had to go in and rearrange all the rooms to get all that shit in the room. Because at the time they shared a room. So it was half his, half hers. And it was, shit was just lined up on the walls. You know, she went and got those teddy bear hammocks. Shit, she had to have those. And it was crazy. It was a lot of stuff, unnecessary stuff. And when I came up with the system for the garage, that helped a lot. You know, she went through. It took her a couple of weeks, but she went through. We got everything in tubs. I said, when you put something in the tub, you put it on the list. I said, that way you can go like this and go, hey, where's this? And go through the list, and they would tell you when you found it what tub it was in. And she came up with a really good one. Was if you take it permanently out of it, you cross it off. But if you're going to put it back, she goes, you leave the tub out until you put it back in the tub, then you can put the tub away. And yeah, I got guilty of that because I left a couple of tubs out and they were out for like a week and a half. Boy, I got yelled at. But the system was proven and it worked great for us. She probably still uses it today. But yeah, she writes everything and locations, everything's got its home, everything's got its place. And that's what's kind of neat about it. But you know, what's your guys' thoughts? You know, declutter, you know, downsizing. We don't need all this shit in life. We really don't. I mean, we're not taking it with us. I can tell you that now. We are not taking any of this shit with us. Memories, if you're lucky, and that's about all you're getting. But it's crazy shit. Um, like, subscribe down below, hit the bell. Discuss this. Throw us down there. What do you think about? Have you already decluttered or downsized? Like me, I mean, my shit. I know where everything is. I got all my audio videos in one tub. My kitchen stuff's in another tub. My jackets are in another tub, and then my daily clothes stuff like this is in another tub or hanging up. And then obviously the stuff I use, tripod, stuff like that, is all out, and the things to recharge all my stuff, that's out. But it's, unless I use it every day, it's put away, and it's gonna make my transformation to the other area, if you will, much easier, because I can just throw everything in this tiny trailer and just go. It'll take me one day to put it all away, and then one day just to pack it all real good in the trailer, and then go park it, get something to eat, and then head out in the morning. Easy peasy. But downsizing, it's the smart thing to do in these times, because we're so materialistic as humans, and it's crazy. I mean, how many times, like when I first came out here in Tennessee, it's very weird. I'm in Kentucky, but this kind of goes for everywhere. It's like a really nice house, right? They're small, but it's a really nice house. And then a neighbor who has trash, garbage everywhere. And then then you'll have a couple more really nice houses. And then another neighbor just, they open the door, throw the trash out on the porch. I don't get that. It's like, dude, just get rid of the trash. Well, I might need it later. All right, stick it out in the backyard. Like even our biker family, when I was growing up, they had rules. It was like, if it don't run, it can't be out front, ever. So there was a lot of motorcycles out front because they always ran. But there's a few cars, besides our cars. But the backyard was like a, what do you call that? A junkyard. Shit, not. Cars, refrigerators, old motorcycles, just all sorts of shit. And it was crazy. It was like a detached garage where they did all the work. And these guys were real handy. There was pretty much nothing they couldn't figure out how to fix. But the backyard, yeah, it was probably, it had to be at least an acre. There was a lot of cars. Might have been more. Might have been an acre and a half, acre and a quarter. But it was a lot. It was a big ass yard, and all you could see were cars. And then they had that pit bull who, neighbors didn't have any cats, because if there was a cat on the wall, that thing would just jump right up and just snatch it. Nah, the cat would be gone. But I'm sure they declared it eventually. The city probably stepped in and said, yeah, you get rid of this shit. Where were they dumping their oil, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I got off kilter again. Sorry, the meds are starting to kick in. But what are your thoughts on this? Like, subscribe, hit the button, donate to our Piff Pantry, pay it forward. What are your guys' thoughts? Because really we all should be doing this. And it's like, I hate donating things. I really do, especially to Goodwill. I guess they went into a non-profit aspect. I just found this out watching a video about it. But yet they paid the owner $1.5 million. But they pay their employees crap. I don't understand that one. A lot of people didn't understand it when they reported it. It was like, the owner took a $1.5 million salary last year. It was like, what? Wait, if it's a non-profit, he should only be getting like maybe a couple $100,000 as the owner's CEO if it's a non-profit. But it's like the Charlie Kirk thing, the PTUSA thing. The lady that runs that's a rabbit hole in itself. So I'm not a big Candace Owens fan at all, but she caught something there. She caught something there, man. And the 3 businesses that folded, but yet the money went into those businesses that were serving the church purposes. It's crazy shit. But the lady made like what was it, $400,000. But how did she make $400,000 on a nonprofit, you know, company that only took in, $1.5 million? It's just a big rabbit hole, guys. But it's all gimmicky shit, and I don't care if churches, everything are all for profit. You could do the tax thing. It's a non-profit, it's a church, or it's goodwill, or whatever the bullshit you want to call it. In the end, guess what? It's all about the money. It always is. But you guys make your comments, comment down below. I'm not redoing this video again. You guys have to deal with it. But hopefully I'll feel better. It's already, obviously, you can see my windows are down. And I don't even have a jacket on, okay? It's already perky. It's got to be over 65 right now. And that's what I was so bummed about. I'm like, ooh, tomorrow's going to be a nice day, all this shit. And then I woke up and my throat was just killing me. And I was like, what? I thought maybe some reflux happened. Just touch on that. But I was like, no, I didn't wake up with a mouthful or anything. And I was like, it's only right here, just at the tip. So at the first, because I was like, usually it'll go up my nose quite a bit, and I'll know, because when I'll smell it. And it burns. But I always wake up because I'm like a rat. I don't throw up. And I almost did this morning. I started yakking really hard, and it hurt so bad. I was like, I had to go get the old Hall's pills and Dayquil, Holy shit, meds are expensive. What was that? It was like that the NyQuil. It was like $12 fucking for a small bottle. Granted, it was the Dollar Tree, but not the Dollar General. I was like, fuck, maybe I should stock up on some of that shit coming up. But I mean, main thing is where the hell I get it from, because I don't hang out with people. I really don't touch anything. But I had to get it from touching something. So most likely somebody one of these and grabbed a handle, and then I didn't know behind him, and I came up behind him and grabbed it and wiped my face, and now I got it. But yeah, this is a nasty little devil. It's a throat, definitely a throat one. But yeah, I feel a little tight in the chest breathing. So be aware that's going around. Usually most of this shit goes around in the winter because we're all cluster fucked in the house. Some close space. That's usually why it's spreads so much. Summertime, everybody's outside in the heat and hot and all that shit. But, if this is the worst I get all year, I'm good with that. As long as oh God, please don't be a COVID. That shit lasts me forever to get rid of it. But, you guys have a good afternoon. We'll talk to you later. Put your comments down below what you think. Have you downsized yet? Are you planning on downsizing? Or are you just not giving up any of your shit? Everybody's different. Some people are so materialistic that they're hoarders. That's right. You're a hoarder. But, there's levels of hoarding. There's that extreme we've all seen the shows about. And the semi-extremes below it. But it's you could be my wife was a hoarder. Definitely was a hoarder. My ex-wife was definitely a hoarder. But once she had systems in place, she knew where everything was, though. See, so that made her an organized hoarder. And I'd take an organized hoarder over any other one, especially if you can't walk in the fucking house because there's stacks of papers. Why are you keeping the paper? I don't understand that one. It's just like, you've seen on TV shows, 9/11, 911, CSI, of hoarders. And what was that one on CSI? Las Vegas, they went to this lady's house. And it was like all these dead bodies and shit. And she had one of her daughters was kidnapped by the other son, locked in a room that she didn't even know was there because there was so much shit in the fucking house. She couldn't hear anything. Everything was muffled. And that shit's funny. So, I don't know. Watch some of that stuff, but some of it's just like, it's when you start getting the roaches and shit. Oh, man. You get bugs in your house because you got so much shit. Yeah, it's time just to burn it, What was the one? Where was or so much shit inside the house. It was pouring out the windows. And I'm sorry, but I have to say this, but they had this, like, like a car length width fence on the side of the house, and it was like 5 feet over it, and the fence was just bowing out, and it was just bowing from all the shit that was packed in there. It was like, what do? You just come home and just throw it in a pile? That will keep that, because it would take you longer to go in there and find something, Oh, I have that. It's probably going to be in that pile over there. Maybe probably. I'm not digging through that pile to find out it's not in there, If you had it organized, oh, so-and-so is in that pile over there. It makes my life, I say everybody's life real easy, but, it's pretty bad when you have to get dumpsters and just take this shit to dump. And, that's the crazy thing. But we're going to do one on waste. But you guys have a good afternoon. Put your comments down below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and donate to our Piff Pantry. We'd appreciate it. You guys have a good one.